Okay, so here we have a nice little opportunity for practicing a few things, for training a few things. We have a small incline. In front of my wheels, it's definitely rollable. The bike will happily roll down that hill. To the right of where I'm standing, or left from your viewpoint, we've got a small drop. There's a rock outcrop and a drop of about 2 foot, 2.5 foot down. Cool. So we're going to go through the process of first of all coming down this short rolling and building up to being able to do it as the drop off. Cool. Let's go through the steps. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to work on these two different ways of hitting the small incline. One's a roll off, one's a drop. Before we start, we're going to look at the bicycle in front of me. Hopefully you all know where the bottom bracket is, this point here. Nice way of viewing that bottom bracket is of the balance point of the bicycle, or the centre point of a pair of scales. So equal weight both ends. It's not absolutely accurate, but for this next exercise it works quite well. Okay, so if you try and view an old-fashioned pair of scales, so we put weight on one end and they would do this, well, that's basically how your bicycle works. You already understand that if you move your weight to the back of the bike, puts weight over the back wheel, and you'll probably do that on descending. What you're doing though is you're moving your weight behind the balance point. A good way of thinking about it, if you're trying to work out the exact position of where your weight should be, is try and keep your centre of gravity. Now on a man, that's 2 inches inside your belly button, just here. If you're a lady, it's 2 inches inside and 2 inches below because you've got hips. But you want that weight above the bottom bracket. So when you're riding normally, flat land, belly button about here. If you are going down a small hill, then of course you move your weight back slightly, and we all know that. If the hill gets steeper, the steeper your weight gets further back. You already know this. And when you're climbing, you bring your weight forward, because if you haven't got enough weight forward, the nose will lift and it makes that climbing harder. Okay, so now we understand where the centre of gravity has to be on the bike. I'm going to roll over this little lip. As I'm coming across the flat land, my weight's going to be above the bottom bracket. As the bike starts to roll over the lip, I'll bring my weight back. If the bike levels out at the bottom of that, my weight goes back to the centre and I ride away. That makes sense? Awesome. Cool. You'll see that in the next video. Thank you. Roll across the flat, bottom bracket above my waist, shoulders back, hips back, and then level out to ride away. Fantastic. So we've rolled over that little drop, or the incline. We haven't dropped it yet. We've seen, hopefully on my little video footage, how my body weight came back, leveled out, and next to us we have what is now a drop off. The movement is exactly the same. It's just a timing issue this time. As we approach this little lip, rather than the front wheel dropping down and potentially going over the face, which is not a good thing, just as we approach the lip there, bring our weight back as if we were about to go over that lip, but we do it slightly in advance. So just to explain, when you're going down this incline, you get to about here, the bike's already starting to fall, and you brought your weight back to here. In order to cope with the drop off, as you are here, before the wheel goes over, the weight comes back to the centre point and then behind the centre point. So you've got slight weight behind the bottom bracket. As you come off, the bike is already slightly off weighted. It's not even a manual, it's not even a wheelie, but the front wheel is off weighted. It'll do this and the bike will travel through the air fairly flat. As soon as you land, back to centre point. Some things to watch out for, because it is a timing issue. Delaying your weight coming back. your front wheel on this drop is going to drop and fall straight off this lip. If that does so, you're in a whole world of pain. Okay, it's always going to be tempting, especially if you're a nervous rider, to be too late bringing your weight back because it feels unnatural initially. There's a tree behind me. You can use this as a visual aid. As soon as your front wheel passes that tree, weight back. Your local area probably won't have a tree cam, but there'll be something you can use. You might notice your front wheel where you're half a metre away, but at that point, weight back. Just to reiterate, you're not trying to manual, you're not trying to lift the front wheel. You're aiming to land either flat or you're aiming to land on the same incline as the descent. So if the hill is that, you want to be landing with it. www.awesomemtb.co.uk. My name is Minnie Mansell. Please, if you like what you see, give me a thumbs up on the video and click on the subscribe button.